I've been in fitness since I was a teenager, and I found this one mistake in pastors across the board. And this is pastors that I know personally, this is pastors in our free community, and this is even pastors that I've coached. So what is the issue? It's called the permacut. And today I'm going to walk you through what the permacut is, how I personally was able to overcome it and kind of break through this, and how you can do this as well. So what is the permacut? Well, a permacut is where you diet endlessly. It's like a permanent diet that you're on. You're always cutting something, you're cutting sugars, you're cutting carbs, whatever. And so you're just always dieting down. It's this permanent diet. And the term, it comes from the opposite of permabulk. And this is a gym bro term where they just excuse bulking all the time or eating endlessly. They just eat like a fat lard all the time and say that they're bulking. And the idea that they use is that I gotta eat big to get big. And so they eat more and more and more, hoping that they can build on more muscle by eating more food, which isn't how it works, but that's a discussion for another day. The problem is most people aren't doing this. What I've found is that most pastors are doing the opposite, and they're doing a permacut, not a permabulk. And so here's how to tell if you personally are in this permacut. First off, you've been dieting for longer than 8 to 16 weeks. If you've been in that diet for 6 months, you've been at a diet for like a year, almost completely without breaks, that's probably a permacut. Let's just be real. Another telltale is that your weight loss stops or slows significantly. And then usually most people will say that their metabolism slowed down, and so they're not able to burn calories as much, or they'll even get really fancy and say, I have a down-regulated metabolism. That's not really how it works, but that's what it seems like. And so they feel like they're not losing weight anymore, or that it's severely slowed down. Another thing is that they feel like they look terrible after just eating bad one time. They go out for pizza Friday night, and then Saturday morning they wake up and they feel like their entire progress is lost in just one night. Another tell is that they have no energy in their workouts. So they get to the gym, they just don't care. They're losing strength. They're not able to keep up with where they used to be, but at least I'm dieting. And then finally they stop building visible muscle. So they might be maybe putting up higher numbers on the weights, or at least staying consistent, but they're not actually seeing any change. And so, especially in your first year of lifting, you should definitely be seeing some changes. And this is even if you're consistent with the gym and you have a great plan. So even great workout plans can result in nothing because of the permacut. So here's how I personally broke the permacut cycle myself. Now, for context, I've been doing this for years, like 5 or 6 years. I was kind of stuck in this permanent cutting cycle. And so first off, I returned to maintenance calories for 1 month or more. Actually, in real life, I've been doing this for 1.5 years, really for the last 1.5 years. So here's the thing. Whenever you go to your maintenance calories, basically this is just how many calories you have to eat to maintain your current weight. So if you're 180 and you eat 2,700 calories, or whatever the number is for you personally, depending on your movement and whatever, that's your maintenance calories. And so you stay eating the amount of energy that you burn in a day, meaning you don't go up in weight, you don't go down in weight. And so whenever you do this, you can expect to gain 2 to 8 pounds in water retention from the higher carbs. So if I'm eating nothing for like 6 months, a year, 2 years, I'm on this permacut, and then I just suddenly jump up 100 calories, 200 calories, 500, 700, 1,000 calories, then you're eating more carbs, you're eating more fats, and this typically results in some water retention. This will go away. This is not the end of the world. Don't stress about it. Don't get scared. Don't freak out, because this is just water retention. And just like any other water retention, you're going to pee it out later as soon as you start your diet back. But more importantly, here's why this works. You're maintaining, not gaining. So I know you might put on some water weight, sure, but you're maintaining the weight that you have. You're not eating more calories than you actually need. So your body composition, the muscle tissue, the skin, the fat, the bones, like all of it stays exactly where it was. It doesn't get smaller, so you're not dieting anymore, but it doesn't get bigger, meaning you're not adding fat. So if you worked really hard in this permacut for 2 years and you've lost 20 pounds, 100 pounds, you're not going backwards. You're not regaining that weight. You're just potentially putting on a little bit of water retention, a little water weight, but you're not gaining the fat back. So don't feel like this is losing. This is actually saving your progress, even though you're not done yet. So you might not be done. Maybe you've lost 20, 40, 100 pounds. You might have some more weight to go, and that's okay. But right now you're just saving your progress for a time. It's like when you're playing a video game and you gotta go, you can't continue playing the next level, you gotta save your progress. You can come back to it later. That's exactly how this works. And then you'll start seeing improvements in your workouts, in your energy levels, in your mental clarity, and your long-term fat loss progress. Meaning all of these bad things that happen on the permacut stop happening. You're able to continue making progress in the long run. So that's the first step, is basically whenever I realized I was in a permacut, I re-entered maintenance mode. I started eating a little bit more calories. I kept my protein about where it needed to be. And then I re-entered my diet with a plan. And by the way, I'm going to talk more about maintenance calories in just a minute. But I re-entered after a week or two, after a month or two, after a little bit of time, I re-entered my diet with a plan. So option one, there's two things that you could do here. You could do an aggressive diet, and this would last for maybe 4 to 12 weeks. Remember, we're not going to do this forever. We just need to do this in cycles. Everything has a time and a place, like Solomon tried to teach us. So we're going to do an aggressive diet for 4 to 12 weeks, and then we're going to sit at maintenance for a while. So at least 1 week of maintenance, if not 2, 3, 4, just kind of see where you are. And what this does is it really gets you moving fast in your fat loss, and then you save that progress for a minute. Let everything keep going, start building a little bit more muscle during that time, and then go right back into a fat loss. And you can keep doing this in those cycles over and over and over again. Or option two, suppose you don't want to do it very aggressively, you prefer to eat a little bit more throughout the day, then you can just recomp, which is just a slow diet. So instead of eating your maintenance calories, you might eat 2, 3, 500 calories less than that, just a little bit less. And you recomp for maybe 2 months, maybe 4 months, 8 to 16 weeks, somewhere around there. And then you just sit at maintenance for a while. So you go back to maintenance for 1 week, maybe 4 weeks, maybe even more if you want, but you just save your progress, build some more muscle, which ends up actually ramping up your metabolism just a tiny bit. And over time, you're able to keep cutting down and then saving your progress, then cutting down and saving your progress. And this progression will keep you from the permacut problems. You're not gonna stop in your weight loss or slow down. You're not gonna look terrible after just eating bad one time. You're not gonna have any huge dips in energy. Obviously, if you're eating in a big deficit, maybe you take option one, you might experience a little bit of fatigue, but you should not be like all the time. People shouldn't come up to you week after week and be like, what's wrong with you? And then you're gonna still be able to build muscle, especially if you have a great plan. And so option two is going to be a great option for you if you want to go a little slower. Option one, if you want to go a little faster. But either way, basically the cycle is this. You diet for a little bit, you return to maintenance for a little bit, and over and over and over, just keep repeating that. So how to do it yourself, HTDIY. Number one is you calculate your maintenance calories and sit there for the next 4 weeks. So if you're in a permacut, right now you're going to be tempted just to ignore this video and just go right back to what you've been doing. But don't do that. Just trust me. Calculate your calories and then sit there for 4 weeks. And the reason we're going to do this for 4 weeks is because you need a little bit of time to adjust up or down. So if you find that you're really still adding some weight after the first week or two, then you probably need to drop down a few hundred calories. If you really are actually still losing weight a little bit, then you need to bump up your calories. And this 4-week period gives you enough time to kind of figure out what you're doing. Here's how you can find it. If you just click right here, this is going to take you to the Fit Pastor Blueprint course. And in this training right here, What to Eat, the Never Skip Dessert Diet, this actually explains how to find your calories. And so this is going to give you everything that you need to crush that, to make it work. It's also free, so join today. And then number two, decide if you're going to do a shorter, more aggressive cut, which would be option one up here, or a longer, less aggressive cut, which would be option two over here. Just decide. Just whichever one you feel like doing more right now is great, because remember, you can keep doing this. You can try both of them. Just pick which one you're going to do first after this first month. So you've calculated your calories, you've decided which kind of cut you're going to do next, and then just track your progress in the process. So once you re-enter your cut, once you're back in your diet, you want to start tracking your progress. I actually made a video that explains more about how that works right here. If you just go to this guy, it's going to explain how to do this. We're not going to go and watch that right now, but this is a very helpful video for how to lose 45 to 70 pounds a year. It covers how to track stuff, and it makes it dead simple, like stupid simple. Even kids can do this. So hopefully this helps you in the progress that you're after, and you break the permacut cycle. I'll see you in the next video.